Okay, we're here with Sam, and we were at the Pacific Marine Expo, and we're repowering this 25-foot Ranger tug. It's a plastic boat, I apologize, but it's a good boat for the program and what we're going to do. The big 150 Yanmar is kaputs. They towed it with the C-valve open in a forward-facing scoop.
Oh, really?
Drowned it.
Wow.
Filled it with salt water because of the water lift muffler, and then it sat, and so...
Wow.
Yeah.
That's...
So
I have to think about that one, yeah.
Forward-facing scoops. If you tow a boat...
It's driving salt water up into that
past the rubber impeller.
Unless they shut off the seacock, you'd be screwed. Huh.
It turns out we are screwed.
Yeah.
It's because they don't make that 150 Yanmar anymore.
Oh.
And the next generation is too wide.
They came to their senses.
Unserviceable.
Right.
And so they actually started putting outboards on the new Ranger tugs. So now we're like, what do we do with this boat? It's a really good boat, 2013. Bow and stern thruster, it's loaded. Nice electronics. So I was thinking about, we went down the path with Art, Matt, and I, and we're like, we just did a beta. We like little betas. But we mocked up a beta and a Yanmar Volvo to see, and the Yanmar was 6 inches or so shorter, which made a big difference in the engine space. And I said, well, let's just do it. Instead of having a 12 to 14 knot cruise, let's just do the classic inside passage, 6.5 knots.
Sure.
So I said, well, that boat needs 30 horsepower-ish to push it at full speed. And I said, okay, I'm here with Gio. And what do we find at the expo?
Here it is, the Yanmar 4JH series. It could be 45, 57, 80, or 110 horsepower.
And this is the one that fits in our Ranger tug perfectly.
True story.
Question is, we targeted 57, but maybe 80, maybe 110, we don't know. We're going to have to find somebody who knows something about boat design, maybe.
Yeah. Who do you think that
you
would be? There's a guy who's probably better qualified in boat design than either of us.
I know multiple guys. We could go to Perry, we could go to Sam Devlin. We got the Northwest is full of people who know how to design boats. We'll ask them.
Great question.
Then we're going to buy us a new engine.
Absolutely. Which one?
I don't know. We could start a pool. Who thinks what? You know, we could bet. Everybody could throw $5 in the hat for lunch. All right. So great show.
Here it is.
Here it is. We got to have wiggle room for tide and currents and stuff. So I said, well, that would push it up closer to 45 or so. And so to run at 80%, Yanmar had a 57. But then Harbor Marine and the West Coast Yanmar guys like, yeah, but if the 57 fits perfectly, and we can use the original gearbox, which is rated to 150 horse. It only had 675 hours on it.
Oh, no kidding. Huh.
But they said, ask and think about the 110 or the 80 horsepower. Because you and I both have the 110 4JH.
I love that 110.
And so the question is, on a semi-displacement, it'll never plane anyways. If we're going to buy a motor with the intent to sell, would you recommend the bigger engines? Or
I still would put the bigger engine on it.
You think go up to the...
Yeah.
But like 80 or just go for the 110?
No, I go for the 110.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that much more money. And I think there's just the rare time when you're trying to beat weather or something, or you're in a hurry to get back to the dock. You could probably run it at 12 knots. It's not going to be as efficient as it could be, and it's certainly not getting enough lift generated by the hull to get into any kind of true efficiency.
Never did anyway. So
yeah. So, but you still have that capability. If you pull down to the 57, that's.
It's never going to go beyond 7 knots,
right?
Or whatever.
So I like the option of the little bit more horsepower.
So spend a little money now, have a nicer setup.
Yeah.
They go a little faster.
Yeah.
It's the same engine, same block and everything.
Yeah.
And the transmission's rated 150 at least. That's what's in front of it. So
yeah, so that should be fine.
We got to sort out the prop, of course. We'll get the prop shop to run the numbers with a 7,000-pound boat and just da-da-da. But I think the old Yanmar was 3,600, and the new ones that were ours are 32.
Are they 32?
They're 32. Okay. So we might actually still be in the sweet spot of the propeller.
Yeah, it'd have to be on the RPMs.
We'll have them run it before we do seat track.
But it's easily within the scope of what they can repitch.
I would think so.
You don't have to buy a new prop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so interesting on that forward face. I'm still thinking about that.
No, we've seen it in twin engine boats too. You have forward facing scoops, and one engine conks out, and they don't close the C valve. Now, only of course if it's got a water lift muffler. See, a lot of the power boats, just goes straight out the back.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter.
So I have seen this, and it was something a long time ago I was never aware of. But some of the smaller Yanmars had a decompression lever on them.
Right.
So if you're turning the engine over, the water pump's pumping, and so you can roll it over. It's going because it's got no compression.
Right.
And
you're bleeding the injectors or doing whatever it is.
What happened is it loads up the water lift muffler and starts that water backwards.
Backwards, yeah.
So we had a circumstance when we were up in Alaska bringing a boat back, and it had been through a big storm anyway, and the batteries were flat. So when the batteries are flat, that's
turning over slow,
standard procedure. Decompression lever, and then kick the lever. Well, got starboard engine, is twin engine, and got the starboard engine started. Went to do it on the port one, and I did the decompression lever, and it went, stopped. So it scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, you're like,
and I had people up there. We had a lot of wheels in motion. So what we did was I pulled the injectors out and rolled it over, and water squirting out.
Oh yeah, we did it in the lab. It's like 12 feet up in the air. It squirted out.
So we drained the water out. I rolled it over as many times as I could, and WD. I mean, I was doing everything I could do. Diesel. I actually used diesel, but trying to just lubricate that,
and clean,
and let it clean out, and wipe. I did everything wrong that you could do wrong. Wiped off the injector and so put it all back together, rolled her over, boom, she started. So I ran it for about 2 hours at the dock, in gear, under load, about 3,000 RPM. I was trying to work it. Shut it down. Everything looked okay. I told my crew, I said, get your gear on board. We're heading south.
Go for a boat ride.
And so it worked. But boy, I hadn't been across that decompression lever. Technically, what it means is I should have closed off the seacock on the water.
Yes, as you're cranking. We talk about that, like when an amateur changes a fuel filter and they're excessive cranking, same thing. And then we've also seen them drown, those engines, when they spring commissioning places, not here, but like where I grew up in Michigan, and they have boats up on the hard, and they put a garden hose to them.
Oh, it's too much water.
And then they turn it on and go up the ladder because they want to start it to make sure it's going to run when they launch the boat. And same thing, it fills up the exhaust system. If you don't get somebody to get it started right away, city water pressure is too much.
Yeah.
So,
oh, wow.
Unfortunately, a lot of diesel motors have succumbed to the the water intrusion.
Stupidity.
So okay, well, I think the Lady M. Then we probably we'll get some quotes and maybe lean towards the biggest engine we can fit in the hole and still be serviceable.
Yeah. Good idea.
All right.